All right. Good evening. This is our first recorded week review with your favorite commissioner, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. So we are going to look at last week's matchups, talk about what happened, make fun of people, specifically people that aren't me. So we're getting into our first matchup, me versus Kyle. Kyle, not a great amount of points. Great amount of points. I'll be honest. Barely able to squeak by. Only person to win without scoring over 100 points. That's fine. That's fine. Don't criticize. Jonathan Taylor, he's going to be good. He's going to be great. Boston Scott, the best player on the Eagles, did not do what I hoped, but you know, what can you do? Le'Veon going IR. That really hurts. Hurts my soul. Hurts all the Jets fans out there. The one of them.
Hey.
Other than that, this one was a pretty ugly matchup. Not a lot of good stuff. I got to call it one pass. It's a good one though. Good pass. But see, that play was terrible because like you could tell with the linebacker standing over Mike Evans, Tom Brady looked right at him, and they did like a little hand jiggle, and like
yeah, I was like,
oh, that's a touchdown.
I'm muted, by the way. I'm just sitting here laughing.
Like, oh, that is a touchdown.
Yeah, I watched it happen, and I was just like, oh, that's the freest touchdown Mike. But pre-snap, that's the freest touchdown Mike Evans gonna have all season, and it was.
That was disgusting. Poor Saquon, man. That game looked rough.
I mean, bench your running backs against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what I learned. It doesn't matter who they are, bench them, because that's nuts. That's 6 carries. Let's not overlook this. That's 6 rushing yards on 15 carries. 15 carries. That's disgusting.
That's an oof right there. That's a 6 yards.
He gets one 40-yard reception that kind of saves his fantasy output for the day.
I'm telling you right now, OBJ is gonna bounce back. Okay? That's what I tell myself in the mirror. That's what I tell myself before I go to sleep.
3 catches on 10 targets.
This was not a wasted pick, okay?
Disgusting.
That's what I'm telling myself.
You picked a man.
It's not a wasted
pick. Great comment from Colin Coward, who I don't agree with often. Or no, I think it was somebody. Some talking head just went, we need to stop treating Baker Mayfield like a talented quarterback. He's just a guy. And I was just like, oh, right in the heart. And he's right. Baker Mayfield sucks.
I will say, Kyle did draft 2 quarterbacks. Technically 3. But
wait, does he win with Aaron Rodgers in the lineup?
He does not. He does not. I don't. I think he had MVS on his team.
You never start him though. That's not a decision he was ever making. So
I don't think so. I don't think so. Which is okay. I mean, listen, if you could not win with roster moves, then it's fine. It happens. Moving on to our next matchup, we have Dan the Man versus the one and only Turbo Man.
Woo! It's Turbo time.
This matchup feels bad for 2 very specific reasons.
Feels great, baby.
Winning by injury. I feel so bad for Michael Thomas. It's literally like the end of the game, gets rolled up on by big old Latavius Murray. They're up like over 10 points. So stupid.
It was the problem was they were only up by like 13, and there was still like 9 minutes left. Like it wasn't garbage time yet. So like the team had to be on the field, but like they didn't have to be, and there's just nothing you can do. And it's just unfortunate because the true number 1 running back receiver in the draft showed up on the other team, baby.
This was gross. Cam Newton was gross. I really hope Antonio Gibson's better than what he showed. I will say one of the things that always puts it into perspective is how many touches a player gets. Because like Antonio Gibson only touched the ball like 11 times, but I was watching the game. I felt like he was in on every play. Like he was touching the ball every play.
So
and he only touched 11 times.
The opposite of that, I was flipping between the Jets game and the Redskins game. Those are the 2 games that I had on. and I had like Red Zone on in the background, but I wasn't really watching it. I could not find a play where Antonio Gibson was on the field. And I had to Google in like the third quarter. Like it was like 12 minutes left in the third quarter. So like the very beginning. I went, what number does Antonio Gibson wear? Like I only watched plays with McKissick and Barber the whole game. And as an owner, I'm upset. The amount of volume that Peyton Barber was getting inside the 10-yard line. That terrifies me.
They wanted to grind it out.
Gibson got the first carry inside the 5 that I saw, and Peyton Barber got every other touch inside that 5-yard line, and that is unfortunate. I will say, as a man who owns Julio Jones and Devontae Adams in 2 separate leagues, Julio Jones had 157 receiving yards, and Devontae Adams had 156, as you see. And I just kept watching the fantasy roll by on the bottom of the screen, like number 1, Julio Jones, number 2, and it was great. Loved that.
Well, underwhelming game from CoC.
Top-heavy performance, but the boys got it.
Yeah, really carried the day. I mean, geez,
everyone knows kickers are worthless. You don't need a kicker. Literally top-heavy.
The best kicker in the league tried as hard as he could.
Yeah, but kickers are useless.
What a gamer.
I'm just saying, Joey Sly also missed the PAT, which in retrospect could have cost his team the game. Late in the game, they were down 4. They should have only been down 3. Joey Sly missed the PAT. Could have potentially kicked one to hold off the Raiders and keep the Carolina Panthers in a potentially 1-0 start. But nope, 0-1 because they suck.
Listen, it'll be all right. He'll bounce back. Dave Montgomery will be better. I don't know. Honestly, Dan, just drop this guy right now. Start Robbie Anderson. Drop Sammy. Preston Williams will be good. I think Spelling Shepard sucks.
With Devontae Parker being hurt. Preston Williams will be huge.
Yeah, Turbo Man. Clean up a lot of this area. Actually, just all of this area.
Whoa, Marquise Brown has a solid 13.6 points. Oh,
that's true. I love Marquise Brown.
Honestly, Kenny Drake had 13.5 points.
Trade me Marquise Brown. Chase Evans, the starting running back for the Arizona Cardinals.
47 backup running backs on the roster.
Eventually, this guy will come back. I don't know when, but
eventually, dude. I'm just saying. You gave me shit about how bad my running backs were, and now I'm looking at them like I got a lot of running back depth. You pick up.
It's because
you pick up one Nyheim Hines.
You get Nyheim Hines.
I was so early on that pickup too. I got the alert for. I watched Marlon Mack get hurt live, and I was like, I need him now. I need him now. I beat everybody there. We're excited about it.
Oh, this next matchup
anymore.
This next matchup.
Yikes! This is the first time.
Doesn't feel good. This one doesn't feel good to look at.
Point total. Oh my god.
And it really stems from here. I mean, it's these guys right here. These are early draft picks that. I think Ingram was a third rounder.
It's a first rounder.
Yeah, Nick Chubb in the first, Tyreek in the second. I think Mark Ingram came in the third. That hurts. You can't get this type of production out of your starting. Like high touted. Stephon Diggs, good game, decent game, okay game.
Pick Nick Chubb.
Just overall.
Adams.
Yeah, if it wouldn't have really mattered because Jeremy would have blown you out anyway. Snelly Young Ho. Eventually, man, I wonder what his name's gonna be when it's the Atlanta bye. Won't be able to play off all the puns. But this team looks gross. Just top to bottom, Jeremy's team looks disgusting.
I think we knew that coming in with Josh Jacobs being one of the most valuable keepers in the whole league. And a high draft pick from Jeremy, you had to expect him to just have a good season. Very similar to some of the other guys at the top of the draft who got to keep those value running backs. Josh Jacobs has a very reasonable chance of being the number 1 overall running back in fantasy football this year.
This is true. DeAndre Hopkins getting back in the second. Seems like a stud, as usual. Clyde Edwards popped. Robert, always a stalwart. Scary Terry. Good player. He'll be okay. This will go up. He'll be better. He had Darius Slay on him. Tough matchup. But
and he only gets 16 from a quarterback, and he still drops 150. Jesus Christ.
Hate to see that.
Who'd he start instead?
It was Stephon A.J. Brown. Yeah, I mean, his receivers are great.
That's never a call. I mean, against the Jets, you start Stephon
Diggs. Of course you do. Yeah, of course.
He gives you 12 and a half. It's the A.J. Brown letdown. It's the Tennessee Titan letdown.
A.J. Brown I mean, this whole core right in the center here. Really, really let you down, Bender. Really
it's
let
funny
you down.
because you don't think there's a world where Mark Ingram and Nick Chubb both get blanked like that. Because the game script tells you that Mark Ingram should have popped off, and the Ravens just disrespected Cleveland the whole way. They're like, we don't want to run the ball. We're just going to keep throwing the ball down your throat, and that's what they did.
Mark Ingram's value really makes me scared.
There were only like 17
Dobbins.
carries in the whole game. Like Mark Ingram had 10, I think. Dobbins had like 7, and Gus Edwards had 3. I think there were only, and then Lamar Jackson only had 6. Like there's only 26 carries for the Ravens. That's terrifying. As a Dobbins owner, I'm terrified.
Yeah. How to say? Yeah, I've noticed.
Mike Williams had 9 targets, huge target share. Just didn't.
I've noticed that because Mike Williams is on my team, but he's like showing in Jeremy's thing. I've noticed some like a little bit of. It's been a little buggy, like showing where players
Week 1
are.
for everybody. Hashtag week 1 for everybody.
Yeah, because I'm like I know Mike Williams is on my team. I can drop him right now. He's not on Jeremy's team. All right. Anyway,
that's funny.
Moving on. Oh man, this is a matchup I wanted to talk about. Craig, the dark horse. This man after the draft, because he was, he didn't really like his team. He thought, a couple of guys.
Should we have side by side a draft rankings?
When we get to David's, I want to show the draft rank.
Okay. Hold on, let me get it ready.
So, Craig was like, I don't know how I feel about my team. It's okay. Listen.
I told him to believe in Julio.
Coming into this season, we thought Nathan was going to be the juggernaut. All right, and it's not that his team's bad. It's just that in my mind, this was a pretty big upset. I mean, if you just look at the projections, like the initial projections, we thought Nathan was going to steamroll this league, but Austin Eckler, that's not hot.
I mean,
Chris Godwin.
You can't fault the guy for scoring 119 points.
No, I mean, listen. It's just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough today.
Like, how many collective touchdowns did Nathan's team score?
Oh gosh.
1?
Actually,
2. Non-quarterback touchdowns. He had 2. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see McCaffrey's. Why are they in the front and everybody else's are not? Okay. He had 4. Never mind. That's plenty.
He had a bundle. Here's the thing, Nathan. This is one too many Jacksonville Jaguar receivers. You gotta pick one.
Wait, and he has Chris Thompson.
This is 3 too many Jacksonville Jaguar players.
That's way too many Jaguar players.
You've gotta.
What is that bench? Wait, Nathan has the worst bench in the league. What is it? Not a single player on your bench is startable except for Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson. I don't love this. I don't love what's happening here. But Chris Boswell, in my opinion, is the worst kicker in the NFL. This man misses extra points. Just like
did you watch the Titans game last night? Did you see that? I picked Gostkowski up in tacos yesterday before the game because I was disappointed in the output from my kicker, and then I immediately dropped him this morning.
Yeah, the fact that Juju really popped off. This honestly is the winning
if
player.
If Juju is the truth, he could be a league winner for Craig.
Oh yeah, that'd be disgusting.
And he gets -2 points from a terrible Minnesota defense. Red alert, by the way. If you own Minnesota defense in a league, everyone picked them on name value. They lost Everson Griffin. They lost Xavier Rhodes. They lost the other cornerback. They are a target for people to play against, not a defensive juggernaut. You should drop them immediately if you own them in any league. They're terrible. They're going to be one of the worst defenses in football this year. Start everybody against the Minnesota Vikings. Drop the Minnesota Vikings defense right now. Yes, I'm talking to you, Kyle.
This was gross.
Best defense in football? Question mark? Like,
I hope they're good, but I mean,
Ryan Kerrigan could play more than 3 games this year. They're going to be terrifying.
The Eagles' offensive line is so good. So bad. Anyway, going forward, Nathan, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, kid.
Craig,
brush it off.
Thanks for giving him a nice L to start the season. I hope to continue the momentum against him this week.
Just slow him down a little bit. Oh boy. This is another one that just didn't feel good. We will say, David scoring the highest points this week. We had projected him as the best draft coming out. And it shows. Week 1. Calvin Ridley. That's not cool.
I've got them side by side on the screen right now. Andrew can't see it because it's his screen share, but we had David at an 8.6 and
disgusting.
Greg at a 5.8. This was an outdraft, and
he got on the bench?
Performed.
Oh, he had John Brown, and I know he already had John Brown on the bench, and he just has Raheem Mostert just sitting here. This is gross. This is just gross, David. Honestly,
we projected this preseason.
I'm gonna have to kick you out of the league because that's not cool.
I think Greg, the only question mark for him.
I've sent Greg multiple trade offers.
I'm muted. I've been talking the whole time.
Frankly, some of the trade offers I've sent Greg, I'll admit, they're not good. They're not appealing. I'd like to sit down with Greg, have a talk, maybe go over some, negotiations. Because from what I'm seeing, Evan Ingram sucks. I think he'll be better though. I think Evan Ingram will be okay.
I don't.
Tyler Boyd in your flex, hate this. Don't know why. Don't know why he's here.
Evan Ingram will not be better. He's terrible. I was muted. You didn't hear me. David was an 8.6, the highest pre-draft ranking in the league. Greg was a 5.8, one of the lowest. And I think the only question mark on David's team were those two starting running backs, and other than Ezekiel Elliott, who's in his flex, which he should be because he was a Sunday night game.
Of course.
It's the same way the same way that Juju's the truth. If those two guys are the truth, we can all kiss the season goodbye. There's no way with that running back core that we catch him if they're for real. If they're the real Todd Gurley and the real David Johnson, former number 1 overall picks in their own right, it's a wrap.
I mean, he could trade Raheem Mostert off for like a really nice wide receiver too, and just like
at me, David.
Have the best flat out roster, and Mark Andrews as a tight end. This is gross. I hate looking at this.
Can't start.
Greg, hit me up. Last one. Listen, everybody. You know what?
I should have left the rankings on the screen.
Should have left the rankings up. Everybody was poo-pooing on Evan. All right. Yes, he drafted Chris Carson number 1. Yes, he kept Tyler Lockett in the second. However, this man has more wins than half the league. So, think about that.
Which we also projected, just to be fair. We all knew that Evan. I will say this, as we all shit on Evan pre-draft, as I pull up the rankings, I'm getting them over here. Travis was the second lowest. So
Travis also had a little bit of a whoopsie when he came
Travis
to
was the second lowest ranking in the league. How many teams did Evan outscore this week? I mean, I know it's at least 3 because he outscored you and Kyle.
Yeah, he outscored me and Kyle. He outscored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, hey, he's the 6th. He's the 6th highest scoring team in the league. That means he should get a W.
Yeah, I mean this.
Wait, 7th highest team. Could have lost to one person. That's fine. I mean,
a lot of Travis's key guys let him down. I mean, he had to start Leonard Fournette because he didn't trust Swift.
I feel partially responsible. Travis and I had a conversation pregame about Fournette and Swift. Does he win the matchup with Swift in the game?
He does not.
Okay, that makes me.
It's only about a 7-point difference.
Okay, he lost by 10. He does win the matchup if Swift doesn't immediately give himself the reputation of stone hands.
Yeah.
I feel bad for a rookie in your first game ever. I hope he bounces back because that was hard to watch.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Allen Robinson will be better.
Allen Robinson, I don't know about Allen Robinson being better. Have you heard Allen Robinson? Allen Robinson has removed all Bears content from all his social media and has officially requested a trade. Allen Robinson is not happy.
All right, listen, Travis, trade me. Is that what this blurb says? Oh, he's asking about a possible trade.
I told you. He's asking for trade.
Listen, Travis, hit me up. Send me Allen Robinson. I'll send you a running back.
I know a team in New York who could use you, Allen Robinson.
Oof.
The Bills.
Kittle got hurt. If Kittle doesn't play,
Travis is fine. Covered. He's so loaded at tight end.
Travis is tight ends for days.
This is another thing Travis and I were speaking about. Based on my new acquisition of Maheem Hines and my nice running back depth, there were some conversations about running backs and tight ends. But I told Travis I'm not ready to give up on Hayden Hurst just yet.
Listen, if anybody needs a tight end, hit up Travis, okay? Evan does lose Marlon Mack. I think Gronk is washed and he shouldn't be started, but that's just my opinion.
Saw great things from Henry Ruggs in that Raiders game. He'll be fine. Jonnu Smith, put him in the game.
J.K. Dobbins is the truth.
I hope so.
I believe in him. I think J.K. Dobbins is going to be a good Mac replacement. I think he's going to cover him.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Russell Gage, good pickup. I like that pick. I don't know if you drafted him or picked him up. Russell Gage had 9 catches. I mean, I know everybody wearing a Falcons uniform had like 7 or 8 catches, except for Hayden Hurst, RIP. But he had a hell of a game. I mean, look at that total. What was Ridley's yardage total? Did he also have over 100 yards?
Yes, he did. It's disgusting.
I mean, Matt Ryan threw for 450 yards. So.
Anyway, this will conclude our weekly review. Hopefully, we'll do this every week. Talk about your guys' teams.
Man,
I hope Kelly got it. But yeah, man, leave a like, comment, subscribe. All right, see you later, guys.